there is evidence to suggest that our world and everything in it, from snowflakes to maple trees to fallen stars and spinning electrons, are also only ghostly images, projections, from a level of reality so beyond our own, it is literally beyond space and time. 64,000 is the median number of words per book. Average person reads about 200 words per minute. Simple math will tell us that is one book in 320 minutes. To accomplish this in 7 days, numbers say you would have to read for 45 minutes a day. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification button, like, comment, and share. Enjoy. Welcome to the Book of the Week series. Every week as I read another amazing title, I share it with the world. My name is Igor S.F. Walker, and today we look at the Holographic Universe, the revolutionary theory of reality by Michael Talbot. So how about you slow down and relax? Reduce all that noise for just a bit. Make that choice and decide to listen. In this video, we look at what is considered landmark work, whose exciting conclusions continue to be proven true by today's most advanced physics, cosmology, and string theory. Stick around till the end. I will share with you some tools I do have and use that will help you tremendously in this game of life. Discover a way to find out what actually motivates you. What innate human need is driving all of your decisions and your behavior. I will share some tools to improve your self-awareness, your social awareness, your self-management, and relationship management. The main architects of this astonishing idea are two of the world's most eminent thinkers. One University of London physicist, David Bohm, a protege of Einstein's, one of the most world's respected quantum physicists, and two, Carl Pribram, a neurophysiologist at Stanford University, an author of the classic neurophysiological textbook, Language of the Brain. Intriguingly though, Bohm and Pribram arrived at their conclusions independently and while working from two very different directions. See, in the last several decades, a remarkable body of evidence has accrued, suggesting that our current understanding of reality as solid and comforting sticks and stones picture of the world that we all learned about in high school science class is actually wrong, because these findings cannot be explained by any of our standard scientific models. Sciences in the main ignore them. However, the volume of evidence has reached the point where this is no longer a tenable situation. Because paranormal events cannot be accounted for by our current scientific understanding. They cry out for a new way of thinking about the universe, looking at the universe, a new scientific paradigm. The fact that the paranormal cannot be explained by our current scientific main view, is only one of the reasons it actually remains controversial. See, we view scientists as with a bit of awe. Scientists. When they tell us something, we are convinced it must be true. We forget they're only humans. They're subject to the same religious, philosophical, and cultural prejudices, just as the rest of us. Now, this is unfortunate. As this book does show, there's a great deal of evidence that the universe encompasses considerably more than our current worldview allows. People are addicted to their beliefs. 𝐦𝐤𝐳 actually says this is why when you try to change someone's belief, they act like an addict. To understand why Pribram was so excited, it is necessary to understand a little bit more about holograms. One of the things that makes holography possible is a phenomenon known as interference. Now, interference is the crisscrossing pattern when occurs when two or more waves, such as waves of water, ripple through each other. Any wave-like phenomena can create an interference pattern, including light, including radio waves. Now, because laser is an extremely pure, coherent form of light, it is actually especially good in creating interference patterns. It provides, in essence, the perfect pebble and a perfect pawn. As a result, it wasn't until the invention of the laser that the holograms, as we know them today, actually became possible. A hologram is produced when a single laser light is split into two separate beams. The first beam is bounced off the object to be photographed. Then the second beam is allowed to collide with the reflected light of the first hologram. Now, the three-dimensionality is not the only remarkable aspect of the holograms. You see, the holographic film containing an image of an apple, and it's cut in half, and then illuminated by a laser. Each half will actually still be found to contain the entire image of an apple. Even if the halves are divided again and again, an entire apple can be reconstructed from each small portion of the film. Was it possible that what the mystics have been saying for centuries was actually true? Reality was Maya, an illusion, and what was out there was really a resonating symphony of waveforms and frequency domains that was transformed into the world as we know it only after it entered our senses. Bohm believes that our almost universal tendency to fragment the world, to ignore the dynamic interconnectedness of all things, is responsible for many of our problems, not only in science, but in our lives, in our society as well. For instance, we believe we can extract the valuable parts of the earth without affecting the whole of the earth. We believe that it is possible to treat parts of our body and not be concerned by the whole of our body. We can deal with various problems in our society, such as crime, poverty, drug addiction, without addressing the problems in our society as a whole, and so on and so on. All experiences are ultimately just neurophysiological processes taking place in the brain. According to the holographic model, the reason we experience some things such as emotions as internal realities and others, such as the songs of the birds, the barkings of dogs, as external realities, well, it is because that is where the brain localizes them, when it actually creates an internal hologram that we experience as reality. However, as we have also seen, the brain cannot always distinguish between what is out there and what it believes to be out there. That is why amputees sometimes have phantom limb sensations. Put another way, in a brain that operates holographically, the remembered image of a thing can have as much impact on the senses as the very thing itself. The pattern and its message becomes increasingly clear. The deeper and more emotionally charged our beliefs are, the greater the changes that we can make in both our bodies and in the reality itself. At this point, we might ask if consciousness can make such extraordinary alterations under special circumstances, what role does it play in the creation of our day-to-day lives and our abilities? Our ability to tap into senses of others is not limited to hypnotic states only. It appears that we are deeply interconnected with each other in yet another way. A situation that is not strange at all in a holographic universe. Now, materialization may be actually more common than we realize. Compelling accounts of bleeding statues, bleeding images, statues, rocks even, in places that have been religiously significant, they're actually abound in the literature on the miraculous. We are so deeply convinced that our bodies are solid and that they're objectively real that it is difficult for us to entertain the idea that we too may be no more than will-o'-the-wisps. But there is compelling evidence that this is also the case. See, visual information entering our brains is actually edited and modified by our temporal lobes before it passes to our visual cortices. Some studies actually suggest that less than 50% of what we do see is actually based on the information entering our eyes. The remaining 50% plus is pieced together out of the expectations of what the world should look like, and perhaps out of other sources such as reality fields. The eye may be the visual organ, but it is the brain that sees. Now this leads to a disturbing question. If we are seeing less than half of what's out there, what is out there that we are not seeing? What misspelled street signs and blind spots and things are escaping our attention completely? Now, our technological prowess provides us with few answers. The idea that physical body is just actually one more level of density in the human energy field and is itself a kind of a hologram that has actually coalesced out of the interference patterns of the aura may be explained both by the extraordinary healing powers of the mind and the enormous control it actually does have over the body in general. The notion that some events leave stronger imprints in the hologram directly than others is also supported by the tendency of hauntings occurring at locations with some terrible act of violence or other unusual, powerful, emotional occurrence was taking place. The literature is filled with apparitions appearing on the sites of murders, military battles, and the kinds of mayhem. It suggests that in addition to the images and sound, the emotions being felt during an event are also recorded in the cosmic hologram. But whether our beliefs allow us to see these holograms and hologram-like movies of the past, or cause our brains to edit them out, the evidence that they do exist is here, nonetheless. It is the current popularity of the idea that we create our own destiny. Is it just a fad? Or is its presence in so many different cultures, so many different time frames, an indication of something much more deeper? It is a sign that something almost all human beings intuitively know as the true. At present, this question is currently unanswered, but in a holographic universe, a universe in which the mind participates with reality, and in which the innermost stuff of our psyches can register as synchronicities in the objective world, the notion that we are also the sculptors of our own fate is actually not so far-fetched. It even seems probable. See, when vast numbers of people start reporting the same experiences, their anecdotal accounts should be viewed as important evidence. They should not be dismissed merely because they cannot be documented as rigorously as other and often less significant features of the same phenomena that can be documented. As Stevenson states, I believe it is better to learn what is probable about important matters than to be certain about the trivial ones. See, that the idea that the universe began in a single primordial explosion or a Big Bang is accepted without question by most scientists. And this is odd because, although there are compelling reasons to believe that this is true, no one has ever proven that this is true. On the other hand, if a near-death psychologist were to state flatly that the realm of light, the NDEs, near-death experiencers, travel to during their experience, there is an actual other level of reality, now the psychologist would be attacked for making a statement that cannot be proven. Now this is odd, for there are equally many compelling reasons to believe this is true as the other thing. In other words, science already accepts what is probable about very important matters. Now, if those matters fall into the category of fashionable things to believe, but not if they fall into the category of unfashionable things to believe. It's not fashionable. Most crucial of all, science must replace its enamorment with objectivity. This idea that the best way to study nature is to be detached, analytical, and dispassionately objective, with a more participatory approach. The importance of the shift has been stressed by numerous researchers. In a universe in which the consciousness of a physicist affects the reality of a subatomic particle, the attitude of a doctor affects whether or not placebo will work. The mind of an experimenter affects the way a machine operates. And the imaginal can spill over into the physical reality. We can no longer pretend that we are separate from that which we are studying. In a holographic and omnijective universe, the universe in which all things are part of a seamless continuum, strict objectivity ceases to be possible. Now, this is especially true when studying psychic and spiritual phenomena, and this is why some laboratories are able to achieve spectacular results when performing remote viewing experiments, and some fail miserably. See, a shift from objectivity to participation will also most assuredly affect the role of the scientist, as it becomes increasingly apparent that it is the experience of observing that is important, and not just the act of observation. It is logical to assume that scientists, in turn, will see themselves less and less as observers, but more and more as experiencers. We are indeed on a shaman's journey. We are children struggling to become technicians of the sacred. We are learning how to deal with the plasticity that is part and parcel of a universe in which mind and reality are a continuum. And in this journey, one lesson stands out above all others. As long as the formlessness and breathtaking freedom of the beyond remains frightening to us, we will continue to dream a hologram of ourselves that it is comfortably solid and well-defined. And there you have it, the holographic universe, a revolutionary theory of reality. Now please, do help out. It is easy. Simply like this video so more people can enjoy it. Share it. Share it. Do leave a comment. Share your thoughts. Start a conversation. Subscribe to my channel. Stay up to date. The link to this book is in the description below. Buy it. Read. Never stop learning. Especially learning about yourself and nature. So, gift yourself by taking the free humanist test on my website and find out what actually motivates you, what innate human need is driving all of your decisions and your behavior. And if you feel you are ready to improve your self-awareness, your social awareness, your self-management, and your relationship management even further, then check out my Master of Life Awareness program. The links are in the description below. Thank you. Love and respect.